Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm doing a bit of a birthday book haul. I was super duper treated by some friends for my birthday. I also super duper treated myself, as you do, and I bought loads of books that I've been wanting to read or get to for ages. So let's get straight into it because there are a lot here. The first one I picked up for myself, and that is Winterloon by Susan Bernard. Now I have seen this on quite a few channels recently, and I realised that it was on a special deal via Amazon Prime members. You can get Amazon First, which I heard about on Lisa from Books and Smiles channel. So I was really excited to get this one after I saw it on her channel, and yeah, it just sounds really exciting. It says it's about family and sacrifice. So our main protagonist in this, I believe, is a 15-year-old boy. His mother has died in a horrific sort of lake accident or something. His father's abandoned him with his grandparents. He forges a friendship with a girl in town whose mother has also died, I believe, and then we start making startling discoveries about what has actually happened and the backstory for this, and I just think it sounds brilliant. And fingers crossed, I know it's a male protagonist, which I really struggle with, but I have high hopes that I'm going to enjoy this one. It just sounds too good not to. Next was a book that I've also wanted to read, and that is If You Leave Me by Crystal Hannah Kin, and I picked this up myself as well. All I really know about this book is that it's set in Korea. It's about two ill-fated lovers. I'm assuming they're from different parts of Korea perhaps, or from different beliefs, and I'm looking forward to reading this one, and the cover is truly beautiful. The next book I picked for myself is called Sal by Mick Kitson. This is a book about a young girl called Sal. She is trying to get away, trying to hide, take her sister away, who's just turned 10, which is when someone in her life started, I'm assuming, to rape her, and so she wants to save her sister from the same fate. And I think this is going to be a story of escaping and desperation, and I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. I've heard it's very moving. The next book I picked up is called The Novel Bookstore by Lawrence Cosset, I believe, and this just sounds very, very intriguing. I can't even explain the plot, so I'm going to read the synopsis. It says a devotee of Svanthal who has shunned the company of his fellow human beings to live on the outskirts of a tiny village in Savoy, is kidnapped and left for dead along a forest road. A middle-aged mother who spends much of her time shuttling her numerous offspring along twisting mountain roads loses control of her car and ends up injured but alive in a gorge. Meanwhile, an elderly man of unbreakable habits is taunted and threatened by two unknown men whilst on his morning walk along the cliffs of Brittany. Mystery abounds, but a novel bookstore is no everyday mystery. The victims are not members of the underworld, tough or thugs, but mild and meek and apparently ordinary people. In the eyes of their aggressors, they are guilty of only one crime: expressing their taste in literature. Indeed, all three victims are members of the Good Novel Secret Selection Committee, tucked away in a corner of Paris. The Good Novel Bookstore offers its clientele literary masterpieces, both contemporary and classic, selected by a top secret committee of authors. The store has proven an instant success, but nobody could have imagined that such success would unleash a tide of hatred. Now there are those who will stop at nothing to destroy the good novel. One by one, the pieces of this puzzle will fall ominously into place as it becomes clear to the store's owner, Ivan and Francesca, that their dreams of an ideal place for books may be shattered by envy and violence. So this just sounds really amazing and imaginative, and I can't wait to read it. Then the lovely Mercedes really spoilt me and got me 3 books. The first one she picked me was Everyone Knows You Go Home by Natalia Sylvester. I hadn't heard of this author till recently, but when I heard the synopsis of this book, I thought it was one that I definitely wanted to give a go. This is a story centred around the Day of the Dead, seeing the spirits, and a family sort of torn apart or with wounds that need healing, and a woman that can perhaps help them. She sees a ghost, a spirit of someone who has died, and she tries to help. It sounds really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to it. Next, she very kindly got me The Crane's Dance by Meg Howry. This has been on my list for quite a long time because I saw it on Mercedes' channel when she read it a long time ago and thought, actually, Mercedes and I often have very differing tastes, but this one just sounded like it was one that I could really enjoy. In this, we follow a girl on her on a ballet tour in a touring company, I believe. She is struggling. She has a younger sister who was actually a much better dancer than her, but has had to go home after having a bit of a breakdown. And we are following this her on her insider tour of rehearsals, performances, and partners on stage as she confronts a tangle of love, jealousy, pride, and obsession that are beginning to fracture her own sanity. So I think it's going to take a little bit of a look into ballet. Next, a book where I saw on the Perpetual Pages channel. She always has great recommendations, and she recommended this one recently, The House of Impossible Beauties by Joseph Cassara. I believe this is based on real life events, and it is the story set in the 1980s, which is when I was born. It says, girl, before there was Dorian and before there was Hector, there was the 1980, the year that things began to change. Diana Ross was pumping on the radio. Angel was 16 years young, and already she felt she was being turned upside down, inside out. Boy, oh boy, everything was turning around. If the 70s were the decade of disco, then the 80s would be what? The beginning of a new era? The decade of the sequin? It was time that Angel, Angel the he became Angel the she, even if it was only something felt within the deepest layers of her soul. She knew that it was there underneath the skin and the bone, as thin as a sheet of silver foil. I think this is going to be a wonderful story with transgenderism as a main theme. And then the lovely, 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 lovely Janet from Swirly Girly Reads has truly spoilt me as well and sent me a load of books for my birthday. I'm truly blessed by wonderful friends with great taste in books. So the first one is Here's Looking at You by Mari McFarlane. I think this sounds like it's going to be a bit of a sort of fun romantic read. It says, despite the oddballs she keeps meeting on dates, Anna couldn't be happier. As a 30-something with a job she loves, life has turned out better than she dared dream. However, things weren't always this way, and her years spent as the Italian galleon of an East London comprehensive are ones she'd rather forget. So, when James Fraser, the architect of Anna's final humiliation at school, walks back into her life, her world is turned upside down, but James seems a changed man. Polite, mature, funny even. People can change, right? So why does Anna feel like she's a fool to trust him? So I hope this is going to be an interesting book and a look at when someone from the past comes back into your life. I hope I'm going to read this one soon. Next up, she has picked me up Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I have yet to read a Karen Slaughter, but this is the one that I was really hoping to start with. It's the story of a girl who 20 years ago her sister went missing, and it's sort of a mystery that tore the family apart. Now another girl has disappeared with sort of lots of the things that have happened seeming to be correlating, and it convinces the sister that she needs to start delving a bit more into this mystery. She got me White Rabbit, Wolf Red by Tom Pollock. This is a book about 17-year-old Pete Blankman, who's a maths prodigy, who also suffers from severe panic attacks and takes refuge in the love and support of his family, but his life is crippled by fear. Then the unthinkable happens. Pete discovers that his mother has been stabbed and his twin sister Belle is missing. Dragged into a world of espionage and violence where state and family secrets intertwine, can Pete's exceptional skills and instincts save him? I've heard really good things about this. And finally, oh, brilliant, 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 volume 8 of Giant Days, one of my favourite graphic novels, set in a UK university following a group of friends as they go through their 3 years of university, and it's really brilliant. Such a lovely graphic novel. So those are the books that I was very kindly gifted or bought for myself for my birthday. Let me know if you've read any of these, what your thoughts are on them as always, and I look forward to sharing my thoughts on them as and when I get to them. That's it from me. Bye for now, BookTube.